Hello there, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about something I sincerely believe with all my heart, and that is all students can be successful academically. We're going to be talking about why that is in today's video. When discussing why all students can be academically successful, well, mindset, taking advantage of community resources, building a good learning environment, creating good habits, building positive relationships. Every one of those things can happen for all students. They can get all those things. We're going to be talking about why and how in this video. First and foremost, as is a recurring theme in all my videos, as the Champions Mindset Mentor, I'm talking about mindset. And if that's not happening at home, teachers and coaches and other people, once they understand what goes into creating a mindset and how to help children interrupt negative mindsets and shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, when they learn how to do that and really understand it, then they can begin to play a role in helping the child do just that. When you can then enlist parents in that process as well, and now the parents are on board and they are learning how important it is and how to go about doing it, and teachers are doing it and coaches are doing it, now you've really got the things that you need in place to do that, to help the child train their mindset, shifting from that fixed to a growth, switching from a mindset of defeatism to a mindset of a champion. That's going to be your driver. That's going to be the first thing you want to do. And that can happen for any child. Another factor that can change for a student who might not be doing well is the home environment. It's possible through working with families and parents, is to help them understand what needs to happen in that home environment to support academics. Now, again, from personal experience, knowing some families where there's no way, like we can't wait for that home environment to change. Parents weren't, oppositional at best. All those things are going into play. What you can do is help that child find ways outside of school where maybe they stay after school for a little while and take a late bus home. Many schools have late transportation that go home. Maybe we can work out ways for them to get transportation home, but where they can stay after school and take advantage of some time after school to get some studying done. Maybe it's getting them hooked up with a mentor, which I'll also talk about a little bit too, that whole relational piece of that, but where they can go somewhere else, some other community organization that has drop-in study hours, what have you, that has a good environment set up, a good structure for them to be able to do work and study. There are solutions to that challenge with the right mindset, even if you running into dead ends with the family. Now, the family's on board, but they just, they're totally lost. They don't know how to kind of do things, but maybe it's a single mom who's working all the time, what have you, a single dad, and there's that supervision issue. There's things they can put in place related to electronics or other kind of factors that can help set up a good learning environment outside of school. So again, let me tell you about one of my students where he came from an environment where a small apartment at home, a lot of younger siblings, single mom, and just the reality of it was he could not do things outside of school there. And we weren't, this is middle school, so we aren't necessarily assigning them a lot, but we also didn't want to say, oh, no homework. Oh, you don't have to do homework. Because there is value in doing work outside and learning how to deal with that sort of situation. So we worked with him and community programs through the library and the YMCA, because he lived right near both of those and he could get dropped off at his apartment and easily walk to either or both, where he could then show up and they had, they knew to expect him, helped hold him accountable, that he's going to be at one on these days a week and the other these days a week from 3 o'clock till 4:30, and take advantage of the programs that they offered. Working with those community resources, whether you are the parent trying to do it or whether you are within the schools and you're trying to work with families and kids, looking at those kind of programs opens up all kinds of new doors for you to help students actually develop those skills. That story about that student also dealt with habits, right? We got him into the habit of going to these places, doing studying at a certain time on certain days, one place, another. We also got him into a habit of some physical activity, because one of the places was a YMCA, and they got him involved in different programs at the YMCA that involved physical activity. So this was a student who hadn't been very physically active either. So now we've got some key habits, important habits: regular study time, location, exercise. And some of the habits I talk about being fundamental, those are 3 of them right there. Good study habits rely often on consistency of time and space and processes, right? So processes mean having the right tools, having your notebook, organizing your notebook. These are habits that go in the process of learning how to study. When you are working on your math, okay, what do I need to have available so I'm not getting interrupted regularly to do my math? These are also habits. When you begin to create these good habits, and it's important to note, on average, it takes 66 consecutive days of doing the habit or doing that behavior to form the habit. That can be a long time, right? And when you interrupt it, if you interrupt it for a day or two, you can kind of start again. So schools, vacations, snow days, if you're living in a northern environment, all these other things that can interrupt that can make that more challenging. But you need to be consistent in trying to help in any way possible the student to develop all those habits of systems, of locations, of time, all of those. Build those habits, and that's going to drive success, and that is teachable and doable. This last piece is perhaps as important as the mindset piece, and I honestly think the ability to build relationships with kids is really also going to be crucial in helping them shift their mindset, because it's going to be much harder for them to go through those processes that need to happen to make that shift if you can't build a relationship with them. And I do sincerely believe that it is possible to reach all kids. Now, I say that in all sincerity, while also having the experience of not being able to myself reach some kids who are pretty hard. And both of them ended up in prison. So I come from that background and that understanding. It doesn't mean I don't believe that somebody could have, somewhere along the line in that child's life, have made that all-important relationship. Sometimes it has to happen much younger, right? But I believe it's possible even at that younger age. And I just want to wrap up with a character from a movie. The movie was Out of the Furnace, and Woody Harrelson and a bunch of other stars. But Woody Harrelson played a character who was just rotten to the core. At that point in his life, I don't know that anybody could build a relationship with him. But when he was young, as somebody built that positive relationship with him, then I believe his whole future could have changed. And that's really the point that I'm making, in the power of relationships in doing that. And again, we've come to the end of yet another video. I'm encouraging you to subscribe. Tons of videos I have out there. If you got anything at all from this, I would love to actually hear a comment too. But subscribe to this channel and check out our other videos. In particular, you might be interested in the video, what are barriers to academic success? So check that video out today, and I hope to see you in the next one.